Well, we're on chapter 2 of the book. This book right here. Okay. Oh, it's going to be backwards because that's the way the videos do it. Imagine the God of Heaven with John Burke. Okay, chapter 2, the God of all nations. Let's get organized here, girl. Code blue, yelled the nurse over the intercom. For an entire week, Santosh Ashadji had been fighting for his life. He realized he was dying. He had just given his wife, son, and daughter-in-law his final blessings when he came into cardiac arrest. The medical staff rushed into action to get his heart going again, but their efforts failed. Santosh clinically died. I always thought that once you die, your life is finished. That's it. But when I died, I discovered your life isn't over. There's another life after that. I realized I'm not dead. I can analyze, interpret. I was curious and wondering as I saw a bright light coming toward me. I could see my body lying on the hospital bed. The light was so bright, I knew that this light has superior authority. I had to obey the light. No one had to tell me. I just knew. When the light came near me, he engulfed me with his radiance, and all that I could see was the divine light. I immediately fell in love with the divine light. I knew the light's purpose was not to harm me, but to protect me. I felt safe. Santosh had grown up in a conservative Hindu family in India. His father was a revered scholar of Sanskrit and an honored Hindu priest, which meant Hinduism was all Santosh had known from birth. Santosh had become a well-respected manufacturing engineer, traveling the world and living in India, Canada, Brazil, and the U.S. while working. Life was great. Until the day his heart went erratic, racing at over 200 beats per minute. Doctors at the hospital initially thought Santosh was having a heart attack, but it turned out to be gallstones that had ruptured with such force that they had perforated not only his gallbladder, but also his pancreas. Doctors gave Santosh the bad news that they couldn't operate when his heart rate remained so high. All they could do was wait and hope it would come down. Day by day, things progressively got worse until the day Santosh's heart stopped completely. Ultimately, doctors were able to stabilize Santosh enough to put him in a medically induced coma, where he remained on machines for 3 days and 3 nights. Santosh clinically died, yet he felt more alive than ever. He was traveling with the bright light he knew was God. In his words, I remember passing through some black holes like big round tunnels at tremendous speed. Together we traveled for quite some time. When the light stopped, he was still looking at me, and I was looking at him as well. I was wondering, why did the light stop moving? What do I do now? I was seeing that the light stopped inside a large compound that was surrounded with very high and extraordinarily beautiful walls. The light was shining on this huge compound, a beautiful compound. I'm going to put the phone down now, it's easier. A beautiful compound, and I could see everything far better than I can see normally. In this world, my vision was unlimited. I could see from one end to the other with no obstruction, and I could zoom in like a powerful camera can do. As I looked at this compound, I could see many, many beautiful homes, mansions in it, surrounded by high, thick walls. Looking into the interior, I could see it was a square shape, and inside it there were people. They were walking. Some were floating in the air. It was like a city full of mansions, like a modern city you'd think of, but not made with the materials of this world, made of things we don't even know of here. gorgeous. I counted 12 gates all around the city, but none of those gates were open for me. I wanted to go inside, but I could not go inside. I was just outside the gate. I saw many angels there. I knew these angels were there to protect this beautiful compound, and I realized I'm looking at the kingdom of heaven. Nothing in this world could ever come close to the beauty of this place. The entire area inside the compound looked so peaceful and so calm that I instantly fell in love with this place. I kept thinking, how do I get into this beautiful place? There has to be an entrance somewhere. Where's the entrance? Then the Lord spoke to me. He has a very deep, commanding voice, but at the same time I noticed his voice was also a loving one. When the Lord spoke, I could understand what he said in any language that I know. I know Bengali, English, Hindi, German, Portuguese. He said to me in an authoritative but loving voice, I'm sending you back to the earth. Go back and complete your unfinished tasks. When you are back, I want you to love your family and your children. Pay attention to your daughter. She needs your help. We talked for a long while. I didn't know how long it was. I didn't know who he was, except that he was God. I didn't have to ask to find out. I knew this was the Lord of everything, Lord of all. To me, he was very kind, loving, and like a true friend with a genuine concern for each and every one of us. When I came back, I was very troubled. Life got busy again, but it was bothering me that all the things I witnessed there, I was familiar with the Hindu scriptures, so I was wondering why I did not encounter any of the Hindu gods and goddesses and all these things we know. Who was this I witnessed? He is not like them. Who was this? It's intriguing that although, this is back to the writer's words, not the Sanjay. Santosh is his name. Back to the writer. It's intriguing that although the 12 gates Santosh witnessed in the heavenly compound were closed, he later discovered one very narrow gate that he said was open to him. Through it he could see a way into the kingdom of heaven. As Santosh's story unfolds in the chapters ahead, we will explore more about what he experienced with God and what he discovered about the narrow gate. But first, who is this loving God of light that Santosh and others from all over the world have encountered in their near-death experiences? Global evidence. Since the age of modern medieval resuscitation and access to digital communication, more and more reports have surfaced across the globe about people being brought back from clinical death. A Gallup poll found that 8 million Americans have had a near-death experience. A study presented in 2019 to the European Academy of Neurology found that about 5.5% of people across 35 countries reported having a near-death experience which involved a life-threatening situation. Oftentimes, people have a cardiac arrest, no heartbeat, no brainwaves, and yet modern medicine or miracle brings them back after minutes to hours of no registered brain activity. They come back to testify about an experience they say was more real than anything they have ever experienced on earth. And the memory of their experience is not like other memories. As Renee from Australia says, the memory of the NDE is more real than what I did yesterday. Each NDE account is unique to the individual, yet they all share striking similarities, core commonalities I have explored and written about extensively. But by far the most emphatic and consistent comment about the thousands of NDEs I have studied is that there is absolutely nothing on earth, no experience we could imagine that compares to being in the presence of God. Based on what NDEs report, the characteristics of this God are the same, no matter what nation, religion, or culture the individuals come from. Although NDEers may interpret the identity of this God from their own cultural and religious framework, the divine being they describe is consistent. For instance, regardless of where they're from, NDEers consistently talk about two characteristics of this God: light and love. Okay, that's a short video. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day.